Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Sarah and I have 3 awesome keto recipes for you today. I will be posting crockpot videos for the entire month of October, so if you'd like those, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and they will not all be keto. It'll just be a little bit of everything. So, as usual, all the recipes that I make today will be linked down below, and let's get started. First, I have a ground beef and green bean skillet for you, and I actually doubled this recipe because I was going to use it for lunch for the not entire week, but the next couple of days, and it made a lot. It was perfect. But I'm going to tell you how it is. It's the normal recipe. Anyway, you are going to brown up a pound of ground beef, and then you are going to add in 3 ounces of cream cheese once you've drained your meat and it's all ready, and just kind of mix it around in there until it all dissolves. And this was room temperature. If not, it was supposed to be. So then once you have all that mixed together, you're going to add in half a cup of beef broth, half a cup of heavy whipping cream, 2 teaspoons of liquid aminos, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 2 cans of green beans. And then you're going to mix everything up and just kind of let it simmer. I think maybe about 10 minutes on medium low, just to get everything all thickened up just a little bit. And you're also going to throw in there half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. And right before you put it in the oven, you're going to top it with 3/4 of a cup of mild cheddar and 3/4 of a cup of mozzarella cheese. And then you're going to bake it for 25 minutes at 350. And here it is all finished. And I suggest letting it sit up for maybe 10-15 minutes or so. You'll see a lot of the juices kind of reduce a little bit, but this is so delicious, a family favorite. It's definitely one that everybody will love, kid friendly, all that good stuff. Next, I'm going to be making a skillet enchilada casserole, and it's actually out of the Keto Comfort Foods cookbook. So I won't have a link down below, but I will list all of the ingredients. First, you're going to start by, in a cast iron skillet, you're going to melt either 3 tablespoons of ghee or coconut oil. I had ghee on hand, and you're going to roughly cut up, because it doesn't matter because you're going to be blending this, an onion and 4 cloves of garlic. And then you're going to add in the spice mixture, which is 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder, 3 teaspoons of ground cumin, and 2.5 teaspoons of salt. And once you have the onion and spice mixture all sauteed up for a minute and start smelling really good, you're going to add in a can of diced tomatoes and 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And then you're going to let it simmer up for about 10 minutes until it starts to thicken a little bit. And you're going to actually throw it in your blender and blend it up until it is completely smooth and set it aside. And at this point, I just obviously I'm using the same skillet, no point in dirtying up a bunch of dishes. But you are going to cover, actually it was supposed to be chicken thighs, but this is all I had on hand, and so I used it. But you're going to top each side of them with paprika, ground oregano, and salt and pepper as well. And once they have a really good sear on each side, and actually, I mean, it doesn't have to be all the way cooked through, but pretty close, you're going to add your sauce mixture back in, and then you're going to let it simmer for 10 more minutes. This is clearly one of those recipes where you are going to be cleaning up your stove really good after, because as you can see, there's grease everywhere. And once the chicken is done simmering in the sauce, you're going to take it out of the pan and shred it up, whichever way you want to shred up. I don't have a little hand mixer, I just have my stand mixer. I really need to get one of those for convenience, but anyway. So I usually just use my little hand salad chopper things from Pampered Chef, but I actually think I ended up going in with 2 forks with this as well because it wasn't small enough. Anyway, you are going to line another cast iron skillet, one that's a little bigger, with like thick sliced deli chicken meat. And then you're going to top it with the shredded chicken and then pour over the sauce. And then you're going to top it with cheddar or Monterey Jack is what the recipe called for. Didn't have that either. And then you're going to just repeat those layers. And then once you are finished, you should end with the cheese, and you are going to bake it at 350 for 25 minutes. I thought the thick deli sliced meat was such a good idea for whoever wrote this cookbook for something to use for like layering, to do something like this. And I was curious at first, wasn't sure how it's going to turn out, but it was so good. And it was extra pretty when I topped it with avocado, squeezed a little bit of lime juice on there, cotija cheese, and cilantro. And everybody loved this too. This week was a hit with the family with everything I make, which I'm telling you is actually not that common. My kids are pretty picky. It wasn't the prettiest thing to serve either. It was kind of weird with cutting up the lunch meat. As you'll see, it kind of pulls it out, and I had to use this cast iron skillet with the little grooves in it because it's the biggest one I have. So kind of having to dig, but it might not look beautiful on a plate, but it was delicious. Next, I'm going to show you some stuffed peppers that I threw together myself. I was pretty proud of these. They turned out really good. I ground up some turkey meat, threw some minced onion. Regular onions would have been good too, but I was out. Some Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and then 2 handfuls of spinach. Definitely could have added more because, as you know how spinach is, it wilts and then there's like 1 piece left. And then once that's all mixed up, I set it to the side. And now I'm just prepping my peppers. You can use whichever ones you want. I just prefer the red ones, and putting them in my crock pot with a 1/2 cup of water on the bottom. Of course, spray your crock pot first as well. And I only had 3 peppers. It would have been nice to be able to just kind of completely fill this up because you'll see they kind of fall over. And it would have been nice for a little bit of assistance in packing in there. Hindsight, some aluminum foil might have been nice. Okay, anyways, once I have got the meat mixture cooled down just a little bit off to the side, I threw in about 3/4 of a cup of ricotta cheese, about a cup of mozzarella, mixed that all up, and then I stuffed all the peppers with this, and I cooked it on low for 6 hours. Probably could have done 5. I don't know. They were really soft, which is actually how I like them anyway. So if you like a little bit more bite to them, don't cook them for 6 hours on low. And about 30 minutes left, I topped them with some mozzarella cheese, turned the lid back on, or put the lid back on. And as you can see right here, they, kind of fell over, but that definitely didn't mess with the taste. It's just presentation here. It's not very pretty. Anyway, once I took these out of the slow cooker, I set them off to the side and I started making a homemade Alfredo sauce to pour on top of them. I just melted about half a stick of, it was about half a stick of butter, put in about a cup or so of heavy whipping cream. I didn't have a lot of Parmesan left. I actually usually put more Parmesan in there. So maybe about half a cup, a third of a cup, and then a little bit of salt and pepper, and then just heated it up until it all thickened on medium. And then put the peppers on a plate, cut it open, pour the Alfredo on top, and these were delicious. Like, I can't wait to make these again. I'd also like to try the lasagna ones with pouring like some Alfredo sauce on top as well. Like, I made those a couple weeks ago or so. Anyways, these were really good. Even my daughter loved them, which when I say my kids are picky, I'm not even playing. But my oldest daughter absolutely loved these. And thank you so much for watching. Like I said, be on the lookout for all the crock pot videos coming next month. And don't forget to like and subscribe.